when starting an online business, cold calling seems to be the last form of a cold outreach people use to get clients for their business. And I was the same. I thought that emailing and DMs, because you could send more, that I'd get a better result. But this just wasn't the case. And I was sending hundreds a day and I was just getting nowhere. So one day I just said, look, I'll give cold calling a shot. And I had a bit of experience in this previously, as I used to work in a gym a couple of years ago. And I used to have to go in on the weekends and ring up a list of past members and try to get them to come in to the gym and then sell them a membership. And ringing people that don't want to talk to you is quite tough because you just feel awkward and you're ringing these people, they don't want to talk to you. So getting over this fear was kind of big for me because I knew eventually it's just a law of numbers and you're going to get that person who says yes, and then you come in and then you get that sale, and it kind of motivates you to keep going and to get more sales for your business. And also I think starting locally is very important when you're just starting out, because if you're cold calling someone and they hear your accent, they kind of have a connection with you already because you're from where they're from and you don't feel like a stranger. So say, like if I was calling someone up in a foreign country now, they'd hear my accent and they'd be like, what, who is this person? So when you're calling someone locally, it's a lot easier to kind of get your point across on a phone call rather than an email. So this video is just going to run through my kind of script and process that I used to secure my first few clients. And I managed with this script, I managed on my first day of cold calls, I sat down, I think I did about 50 phone calls, and I managed to get 4 meetings in person. And I signed up 3 of these people. The fourth person never showed up, which happens, but I managed to get my first 3 clients within a space of a week because the meetings were the week after. And I just realized how powerful cold calling was and is. And people say in 2024 it doesn't work, but it's just people are afraid of doing it. So yeah, I'm just going to hop onto the computer there now and show you the kind of script and process I used to get my first few clients for my business. Okay, so we're onto the computer there now, and I'm just going to run through the script briefly and show you what I did and how it worked for me. So I actually kind of got this script from Jordan Platten, so shout out to him. And I just kind of putting my spin on it really because I found it very helpful, but I just put in some of my points and what I do differently when I was doing it. So this is just on Notion, which is a very good free software if you're looking for stuff to have your calendars or whatever. And there's a load of templates and stuff like that. But I'll do that in another video going through the kind of free softwares that I use when you're just starting out. So on this is, I kind of just broke down, and I'm going to use the example from the last video, the cold calling video, making the lead generation list. So as you can see, so the niches, the cafes, the offers to grow your brand's online presence, services, whatever you're offering, social media management, advertising, content creation, and then your agency name. And we're just going to stick with the same example as last time, and we're just going to say we're from San Diego. And this is the key part, I think, to cold calling, is getting past the gatekeeper, because you want to get speaking with the person who runs the business or who runs the social media or who runs whatever you want, whatever service you're offering them, because these aren't the decision makers here and you need to get past them to talk to the main person, to the owner preferably. So you probably start off saying, hi, can I speak to whoever the owner's name is? And they say, oh, who is this? Where are you calling from? You just say you're calling from San Diego. What is it regarding? And whatever your kind of offer or guarantee is maybe. Or a thing that I did was ask who is running the social media or the websites, SEO, ads. And when you get the name of this person, if there's anyone who's doing it, ask, can you speak with them? Because you have a few things that you'd like to run by them, and get their contact info if they're not available. If you, like when you say, oh, I can get leads for your business, they generally like, oh, can I take your name? Can I take a message? And you don't want that because it's never going to result in a lead for you. So you just say, no, that's all good. When would be a good time to reach whoever the owner's name is for 2 minutes. I can call back when they're around, or if you have a personal number, that would be great. So a lot of the time when the people weren't around, I'd ask for the other person's personal phone number, and they wouldn't always give it, but they would sometimes. And then you can call that person up saying, look, I just got your number off one of your employees. Are you free for a few minutes just to chat? But that's just in the next step anyway. And when they ask about sending an email, just say, oh, they already got one, or else you just prefer to speak with the person directly, because it's just a waste of time, to be honest with you. And getting past the gatekeeper is honestly the hardest part, I think, because once you get onto the owner, you're kind of you're one step in the door. So you'd start off with saying, hi, is this whoever I'm speaking to? I hope you're doing well. My name is Mark Murphy. I know you're probably busy, so I'll be quick. I was just wondering if your business is looking to grow its online presence, get more leads, improve its website, anything like that. And they either have a positive response or a negative response. So if they're positive, perfect. So I run a San Diego-based company called In Your Agency Name, and what I do is help businesses improve whatever your service is. So if it's, I create social media plans, scheduling, using video and content and graphics to build an online presence or brand. I design and create a new website that is user friendly and SEO optimized. We offer paid ads, or we offer paid social media advertising to get leads for your business. And you just kind of want to briefly explain that side of things so that you can be like, oh, I'd love to run through this all in more detail with you if you've got 15 minutes free sometime early next week. And again, just getting them in person is key, because if they're speaking with you on the phone and they have a slight bit of interest, they won't do the sale over the phone. So if you can get in front of them, you're literally 50, if not 75% of the way there to getting your sale. Because if they have you come into their business, they're not wasting, they're giving you their time, which is so valuable. And so they're obviously interested. So then you just kind of got to get the sales part down really, and make sure that your service is worth buying for them. And if it's negative, I'd still say, oh look, I'm not trying to sell you anything now. I just want to arrange another time that we can chat for 15 minutes and you can share some ideas with them, and just say, look, if you like my ideas, you don't have to work with me, but you could use your ideas for yourself. And that kind of gets them thinking then, oh, this person might be able to give me an idea to something to run with myself. So that's always a good way to do it as well, because you're giving them something for free basically. The questions that I kind of got asked a lot, so I'd say this kind of spiel really, and they'd be like, oh, explain more about your service. And I kind of just would write down what my service was offering. So I'd have this all out in front of me, and I'd write down what I'm kind of offering. But you want to just say it briefly, but in good terms, and still mention the 15-minute call that you want to get on, or meet with them for a quick chat, because it's just as I've said a lot of times already, that it's just getting in front of the person, and that's how you're going to get the sale. So just getting off the phone really. And you can see here that I just have different services explained, and like, because I was kind of offering a bit of both, which I wouldn't recommend unless you want to try a few different services at the start. And this is one that I'd always get asked at the start, or still, how much does it cost? Because that's all people want to know. And I'd avoid it by just saying, it just depends what you're looking for. Like, we offer a few different services, so it would make a lot more sense if I could run through it all in more detail with you. If you've got 15 minutes free sometime this week or early next week. And again, you can say no obligations. If you like my ideas, you can use them for yourself. And like, some people will be really pushy with the how much side of things, and you just try and avoid it. Like, I learned that as well when I was working in that gym, that you just gotta avoid that question, because if you say a price, they're just gonna be, and they don't agree with it, they're just gonna say no. But whereas if you say that price when you're in front of the person, it's a lot different because you're speaking with them rather just on the phone. You're connecting with them, so it's a lot different for the sales side of things. So never answer that question. Just keep avoiding it, even if they're pushing. And I did crack a few times at the start, and you just don't get anywhere. And just avoid that question. One big thing that I did at the start was record all my calls and listen back to them after each time. Because what I learned is that if you've picked your niche, so say cafes, and you ring them up, they generally ask the same questions over and over again. So when you get through your first about 10 calls, you have all the questions that they asked written down, and you know the answer to them. And it just makes it so easy once you get past the first few calls that you're ready for what they're going to ask, and you know how you're going to avoid their question if you don't want to answer one. So I found just like literally just setting up your phone. You don't have to share them with anyone if you don't want to. You just set up your phone and listen to all the videos after you do a call and kind of hear where you went wrong in your kind of speech. And once you kind of keep doing that, then you slightly improve each time. And I have my first however many phone calls. I think that first day I did, the first few days anyway, I recorded myself doing all of it. So if you want to see those videos, I can share them with you down the line. So some mistakes that I made was this one that I regretted straight away. Well, not straight away, because I wanted my first few clients and it was not sticking to my service offering. So I originally rang them offering Facebook ads because I prefer doing that than the social media management side of things. Because if you're not outsourcing the social media management, creating all the posts, and I did home improvement, so going in and I'd actually have to take the photos and make videos, so that was very time consuming. And I wanted to do something where I could kind of just set it up and leave it run. And with social media management, it's hard to show the return on investment, whereas with social media ads, you can show how much you've spent and how much you've made the client, whether it's be sales or leads or whatever you're trying to do for them. Even if it's just growth ads on social media, it's a lot easier to do. And when I was ringing these people, I'd say, oh, do you want leads for your business? And they'd say no. And I was like, but, oh, we're looking for social media. So I was like, oh, I'll do social media for you. And I just do the social media for them. And that's the same with then another person would be like, oh, I'm looking for SEO or web development. And then I'd say, yeah, and I do that for them. And it's okay at the start, as I've said, but I don't know, stick to what you want to offer, because I think it's gonna work better in the long term rather than short term. Short term, it's okay, you get a bit of money, but your head's all over the place and you can't focus on one specific thing. So it's just challenging. Another thing that I found myself doing was kind of procrastinating between the calls, like leaving way too long between each call. I just set a time limit, even an hour, where you're just going to blast through your list. And I showed you the list on how to make the list on the last video. So if you missed that, go ahead and watch it. Especially when you get a yes, make sure to hop on a call straight away after that, because you're confident and you feel like you're in a good mood. And when you get one no, don't just sit. Like I used to just sit there and kind of wait around for 20 minutes, half an hour, just kind of thinking, I don't know, I was just procrastinating really. And just hop on that next call and just keep doing them. The law of numbers, like, it's really true. Like, the more you do, the more you're going to get. And then another thing that I made a mistake on was not documenting my success rate. Or mark down how many calls you did, how many meetings you got, how many sales you got out of this. And then you track your time as well. That's what I'd recommend doing. I was really bad with the time side of things, and I didn't know how long I was spending at doing it. So track your time and just set timers. So say you're going to do, if it start off with 50 phone calls and try to get them done in 2 hours. It is manageable. Just keep doing it. A lot of places won't answer as well. And then I'd kind of count that as well if they didn't answer as a phone call, which is obviously just stupid. So I just really recommend just document everything. What I do is go through the list, like, so I'll show you the list there now. And I'd have this list here. So you'd ring this person, say they answered. So Greg answered. So it's the 7th of April, I think. Answered and interested in meeting on Tuesday at 12. And then I maybe put in a few notes. Seemed to be interested in whatever, social media management. And I just leave it like that. And then say, if this place didn't answer, I just mark them red, no answer. Same here, like 04, oh shit, sorry, 04 2024, no answer. Actually, I'd put that in yellow, sorry. No answers in yellow, and then maybe then for if you answered but not interested. Sorry, a bit of spelling mistakes there, but you get the point. So that's my kind of my cold calling script and process really. And like, you can watch this video and you think that, oh, that's not that difficult. But then you go to sit down and type in that first phone number and you kind of get a bit flustered and you kind of get nervous. But what I'd say is just do it. Like, your first few aren't going to be good, and you mightn't get anyone for your first however many calls. But it's worth doing, because you can spend all day sending emails, as I said. But I think this is just it's just a better return on your time rather than just spamming people with DMs and emails. So if you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe. If you want the template to the script I have here, just DM me on Instagram at markmurphy23 and with the word Notion, and I'll send it over straight away. And if you have any questions at all just about social media or starting an online business in general, just feel free to ask any questions. So thanks very much for watching.